We have some fantastic news for you 49er fans as Kyle Shanahan has just addressed the media after every game. Kyle Shanahan has his press conference with the media. And you know what? Today, he had some really good news regarding Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to get right to it. According to many reports out there, Nick Wagner was the first to report this, that Christian McCaffrey is going to hit it hard this week, meaning he's going to ramp up all his activity. They're going to do simulated practice. And as long as there's no setbacks, the goal is to have him in practice next week. They're going to let him simulate, some practice on the bye week this week. And as everything goes well, they're going to let him open his practice window and he'll be back with the 49ers next week. And again, the goal is to be back for week 10 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is all according to Kyle Shanahan. He followed up by saying he's had no setbacks, so it looks like we're on track. But he's going to hit it hard this week while we're gone and simulate some practice stuff for himself. As long as it all goes good, hopefully we'll get him back in practice next week. That was the quote from Kyle Shanahan, and this was provided from Nick Wagner. So great news for Christian McCaffrey, which is amazing because the 49ers did suffer a little bit of an injury with Jordan Mason. He aggravated his shoulder injury. The bye week's going to give him some time to kind of rest and recuperate. They're going to reevaluate him after the bye week. So unfortunate news for Jordan Mason re-aggravating his shoulder, but fantastic news for Christian McCaffrey. He's slated to come back. So if Jordan Mason is a little banged up and he can't go all the way, and guess what? You got the offensive player of the year coming back for the 49ers, and that's fantastic news. So good news for CMC. A little bit of an unfortunate re-aggravation of an injury for Jordan Mason. And another player that's going to be reevaluated next week is Deebo Samuel. He's dealing with a rib and oblique injury, and they're going to evaluate him as well next week. They're considering it day to day, but they want to kind of see how he does after the bye week. So Deebo, unfortunately, had a rib and oblique injury that he suffered last night, Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. And again, they're going to reevaluate it. So another wide receiver that had an injury last night is Chris Conley, the veteran. He's dealing with a hamstring injury, and unfortunately for him, he will be week to week on his return. So hamstrings are tough. Good news for the 49ers. They have Jawan Jennings expected to return next week. He's had the hip injury, but Kyle Shanahan said that Jawan Jennings will likely be back next week after the bye. So that is great. You lose Conley, you're going to get a dog in Jennings back. And you know what? Ricky Pearsall had a fantastic second game of his career. 4 targets, 4 catches, 38 yards. He had a rush for 39 yards. Little productive game for second-year rookie there. So good news. 49ers getting Jennings back. Pearsall looking like he's picking everything up. And we'll see what happens, though. Unfortunately for Conley, he will be injured with the hamstring injury. Another player that will be injured right now, but it's not as bad as it looks or sounded when the initial injury came out last night, is cornerback Renardo Green, who had a great game last night. He was the highest graded 49ers defender, according to PFF last night. And Renardo Green is really looking solid. He unfortunately had an ankle injury, but it wasn't a high ankle sprain. It looks like it was a normal ankle sprain. And he sounds like he avoided a significant injury there. So good luck on that. Good news on that. Renardo Green will be reevaluated next week, but he sounds like he's going to be day to day. We'll see how things go after the bye week. He'll get some time to rest and recuperate. But Renardo Green has a ankle sprain. It's not a serious ankle sprain, day to day, and he should be back next week. They'll kind of reevaluate him next week after the bye. So kind of avoided a bullet right there. So another little tidbit here, according to Kyle Shanahan, another player that people are anticipating, Dre Greenlaw. Kyle Shanahan said that after the bye, he will be week to week in terms of getting to practice. They don't want to put an exact timeline because they don't want to rush him. So Dre Greenlaw will be week to week. But one thing that Kyle Shanahan said in this presser is that he said it is getting closer, meaning that the timetable for him to return is getting smaller and smaller. He will probably be back. And we remember John Lynch said that the goal is to have him back this season. Now, they have to evaluate him when he does come back and he does start ramping it up if he has any setbacks, similar to Christian McCaffrey. So, yes, we're excited that Greenlaw should be back, but they can't rush it. There's no exact timeline, but he will be week to week. And according to Kyle Shanahan, it will be closer. So that is great news overall. Dre Greenlaw should be coming back. Christian McCaffrey will be ramping it up this week, and he'll be back next week with his practice window open. Fantastic news. Jawan Jennings will be back. And again, they will reevaluate Jordan Mason with the shoulder. Deebo Samuel with the rib, Renardo Green with the ankle, and Chris Conley, the veteran wide receiver, will be week to week with a hamstring injury. So those are your updates for today, according to Kyle Shanahan. Absolutely pretty good news on the up and up right now. I know it could be worse and it could be better, but the 49ers find themselves at 4-4 with some reinforcements on the way. Niner fans, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys hyped up that Christian McCaffrey is on the way? Let me know what you think.